to Similarly Different. Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Similarly Different. On this week's episode, I have someone that you for sure have listened to their work of art. You have listened to them singing, rapping, being a musical genius, but also you may or may not know that they have penned one of your favorite songs at some point in time because his catalog is extremely long. Now, I'm talking about none other than Theron Thomas.
Yes.
How are you?
I am amazing, man. I'm happy to be here. This is fire.
I'm so excited that you're on here. Now, for those that may not know you, obviously my demographic and my podcast is not music related. It's human related.
I love that.
So I want to let everyone know first on the business side who you are, how you started and everything, and then we get to humanize you.
Okay, cool. Well, I originally from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, born and raised. Left there in 2000, went to Miami. Left Miami, came to Atlanta in 2001 and been in Atlanta there. Got into the music business officially in 2007 with a song on Akon's album called The Rain, and then a song on Mario's album called Music for Love. And then kind of did a deal with Convict Music, was with Interscope for 4 years, did a song for the Pussycat Dolls called When I Grow Up.
Huge song.
Very huge song. Our first, me and my brother, that was like our first hit song.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
What made you first known? Would you say you as an artist or you as a songwriter?
We were known as songwriters first.
Okay.
We tried artists for a long time. I mean, like I said, from 2007, but then we had our first hit as artists, I think Locked Away was 2014. I want to say it was 2014. So from 2007, we tried. Then 7 years. Then we dropped Locked Away, #1 in many countries. And then we toured with Maroon 5.
And that was a time where even Adam Levine was going solo, but he was literally the guy that had every song either as Maroon 5 or as himself on the radio.
He was going crazy. Yeah. So it was a great time, you know what I mean? And we toured. Touring I hated it.
Yeah.
But then again, it was my dream since I was a kid. Like, oh man, I'm gonna go up and then I was like, we were so successful as songwriters. So it was like I was already successful. So imagine as a songwriter, you fly me first class, and you put me in a nice hotel, and you treat me like a king. And then as an artist, nobody knows me, and you're like, oh yeah, you got to stay over there at the Embassy Suites. No disrespect to the Embassy Suites, but I'm like, nah, bruh, I don't like this at all, And after that, I just went full-fledged all the way into songwriter mode.
What do you think? Well, first, I guess when you were going through all that, how old were you?
With Locked Away?
Yeah.
About 32.
Okay, so you were a pretty established young man, but at the same time, I feel like the early 30s is when like a man really starts developing his true self of who he's going to be.
Definitely.
And everything. So how was it at that point? Because it's such an ego burst of like being treated so highly in one part of yourself, and then the other aspect of yourself is like treated in a lower.
Well, it was difficult for me because, I love my family, but I like my family. I like my wife and I like my children. And, the thing about songwriting, you go to the studio and then you go home. The thing about tour, you're like, for 2 months, you're on the road. And then you come home for a couple of days and then you're on the road. And I just was like, I just didn't feel like the reward was worth the sacrifice, at the time. Because I was like, it ain't a money thing. I had, I was like, I already got money, so this isn't a cash grab thing. And I got up, and earlier in my career, I used to pray all the time, like, yo, God, if you can make it so I get up every day and make music for a living, if that's what you make my job, I'm not gonna complain. And people are like, yo, they're busy all through the day, they got all these things, and I'm like, my session doesn't start till 6:30, so what are you gonna do? I think might, chill with the baby, watch Coco Melon. I don't know. I'm just chilling.
Now, when you started in songwriting, you said off camera, we were talking about your family and your upbringing, that they basically told you had to figure it out if you wanted to go in the music industry. And I think it happens a lot in minorities where it's like, if you're not going to be a lawyer, if you're not going to be in medical, if you're not going to be this, oh, you're going to be in entertainment. Oh, that's funny.
No. Well, my parents were super supportive. Yeah. My dad is the greatest man ever lived. He supported the music thing. My parents were just like, as parents, if you go to college, as parents, and by
Secured.
the way, we're not even secure. Listen, I come from real poverty. And I mean like Our first house was a shack. First bed I ever got came from a trash can. Me and my brother shared the same room and bed till we were about 25, like broke, nothing, you know what I'm saying? And when, with that being said, my parents was in full support. It was just college. They said, hey, we'll help you with college, but music, y'all gotta.
Yeah.
Now you're an adult. You want to go off into the world and be a grown up, but if you want to take the 4 years to go through college and still get our support, cool. But if you want to be an adult, hey, go change your, follow your dreams. And we went and we followed our dreams. And I'm happy we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a moment in your childhood that catapulted you to be as fearless as you were to go and chase music?
I wouldn't say a moment, of many moments. It was just our dad, man. I tell people, parenting is so important because I'm like, I had a dad that told me that he loved me and I was special and I was handsome, and a mom that said the same thing. And, the weird part is we didn't realize we was poor until we got to school with other kids that was like, yo, bro, why you, but when we just with our parents, because our parents would always keep us fly, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like a moment. It was just, my dad told me when I was 9, you're going to grow up, you're going to win Grammys, you're going to be this. And guess what? I believed him,
When you got your first check as a songwriter, what was that like?
It was amazing and terrible at the same time. Because the first thing we did me and my brother did our pub deal, and our first publishing deal, we got $1.5 million. I
remember. And
we spent all the money in a year, and we was broke, and I owed the IRS $468,000 in back taxes. And I was super, super afraid because I was like, first of all, I don't even know why they gave me $1.5 million. I didn't understand. When you don't understand where the money comes from, you don't understand. And I was like, whoa. And my wife now, who was just my girlfriend, I remember coming to her and telling her my story of like, and I'm telling her like, oh, I'm broke and I don't know what to do, and nothing scarier than going to the bank and they're like, the IRS has a whole freeze on your account saying you can't get any money out. Like, what?
Yeah.
So super, super scared. And I tell her the whole story, and she was like, this whole time that you've been my boyfriend, you've had $1 million? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And I was like, whoa.
Why didn't you trust me? I would have made you more millions.
No. And she did. She didn't even say trust. She just was like telling me things that I was like, whoa, you know a lot about money. And at that time I had a business manager, and I called him and I was like, yo, make her in charge of all the stuff. And he was like, I don't think that's a good idea, Teron, because she's not your wife. I was like, bruh, I'm not asking you.
Right.
I was like, if she robbed me, all she gonna do is take the money and take care of my kids.
Right.
I just want to make sure my kids are straight. Even now I don't care about money that much. I'm more like, yo, bro, I want to buy this thing. And, so they said no. I fired them. I put her in charge of the money. I ain't had no money problems since.
I love that.
Yeah, she's the best.
What is that quote they say? That a successful man has a very strong woman behind them?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
now what was your internal experience when you realized that you finally made a hit record? Like Locked Away, right? We said it?
Yeah. Oh, man. I was so grateful, and I was annoying because... So, back then iTunes was popping, and people would go to the iTunes charts. Well, I had seen the iTunes chart many times with songs that I wrote for other people, but Locked Away debuted at like 168 or something.
Okay.
And it said Our City. And I was like, yo, that is mine. I called my brother. I was like, yo, did you see, guys? It's 142 today. Hey, oh man, I just went 10 minutes, it's 141.
Yeah.
And they're like, if you don't stop calling us, bro, it went up one number, And I was just so excited and grateful because, again, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. This is what I've wanted to do since I was I wanted to do this since I was like 7 years old.
Yeah.
And that was like, yo, crazy. But then being an artist it was so much work, and I don't know if I was ready for again, the sacrifice that it took, because I sacrificed a lot to make it, but the sacrifice that it takes to be like,
to keep it.
Yo.
I think that was my next question, which is, okay, so you made it, you got locked away. Where does your mind go in the sense of like, I have to stay up here? Because I think a lot of the times, like in our success, at least for myself, like I hit a goal and I can't help. And I try to live in the moment for a little bit now, because you don't want to always be chasing everything. But I can't help but be like, okay, well now I got to stay up there. So that's the whole other process afterwards, because you're like, was it just luck? Was it just, are people going to remember me? You start being, I'm sure you were the guy with your brother at the time of like, wow, all this stuff is happening in the songwriting business and the artist business, but it's like, how do you maintain it?
It's so funny, but I think majority of the most successful people are like fear-based. They're like, what if I lose it? What if I lose it? And they work as if they're going to lose it. And you're like, bro, why are you in the studio every single day? You're rich. Oh, bro, why are you at the office? Everybody left. You already made it. And they're like, but I know I could lose it. I always tell people, I say this. I'm like, okay, think on this. I'll be like, okay, I made a lot of money. I'm rich. I'm a millionaire, whatever you want to say. Mike Tyson lost $500 million. I don't even have that much money. Holyfield went bankrupt with $500 million. So I'm just like, yo. Yeah. Everybody's like, yo, you made it. Made it to who?
Right.
That's another thing. There's someone watching you, and their goal is where you are. But if your goal isn't here, I ain't made it. I made it to your standards. My standards is higher than this chair. So I'm trying to get up there, and I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how do I keep it? I'm relentless, man. I work really hard, and I'm still coachable.
I think that's really important, because I think once you get to the point that you feel like you know everything, there's no level of growth. And you said it yourself that you like being uncomfortable.
Comfort is it's so funny, man. Being comfortable is really, really scary. You know what I mean? So you got to keep moving, and you got to keep working, because it's weird. I do a lot of things like self-sabotagey things to myself, I think. But it's, to somebody, and maybe to a therapist, they'll be like, that's not good. But to me, it's like, nah, bruh, this is why I'm here, and it's awesome. And I keep doing it. It's like, everybody gets plaques, you write a song and everybody gets their plaques. And the only plaques I have, my manager bought, he got them and he put them up in our studio. And we literally got into a fight over these plaques, because he was like, yo, you need to get the plaques, people. And I'm like, I feel like plaques is for retirement. Plaques is for me when I'm done. I get all the plaques, I buy them, I put them up. My kids, their friends, whatever they come by, they're like, whoa, you did all of this? People are like, wow, what, you've accomplished so many things. But while I'm still in the game, I'm like, bruh, I don't need, because then you can look and be like, look at what I've done.
Yeah.
I don't want to,
You don't want that moment of calmness yet.
No, I don't want to feel like, because seeing all of it can make you feel like you won. But but at some point, the thing about going up a hill, what people don't realize is a hill is like this. You walk up the hill, you get on top of the hill. Now you got to go down the hill.
Yeah.
You can go down the hill gracefully, walk down really slow. I think Stevie Wonder walked down the hill. He's on the other side of the hill. There was a point where he was like really, 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 really massively popular amongst a generation. And now he's a legend. But you also can get kicked off the hill.
Yeah. And I'm sure we can all think of some artists that have been kicking and screaming
and guess what? And I believe those people feel like there's no way down for me, or look at everything. Oh man. And I don't want to see nothing that makes me feel like I've made it. I want to be the 18-year-old kid that got on a plane with a backpack and $35 and moved to Miami, Florida, and slept on a dining room floor with his brother on a blanket. I want to have and said, you're going to be one of the best in this business. They going to know your name. They never going to forget you. And I need to feel that in order to be who I am.
Do you ever shut your mind off though?
No.
Okay.
No.
Do you feel like maybe being with your family at times helps you at least like calm down the noise for a second, and then you walk out the door and you're like back at it? Like how do you reset yourself? Because I'm sure there's times where you haven't felt the greatest. Maybe it has been a low season, whether it be in work or self. Like, you're still a human.
Yeah, but okay, this is gonna sound really crazy, but I don't feel like I like get really sad often.
So you've never felt like a failure in the music?
I mean, I feel like I fail all the time, but failing is good. You want to fail now, you want to fail fast. I celebrate the failures. Like, oh, okay, damn, I messed up, with music. I don't want to fail my wife and my kids. That scares me more.
Yeah.
Like, no disrespect.
No.
Failing Beyonce, I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh man, Teron, you went in there and you kind of bombed with Beyonce. Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, that shows you, okay, so I have to work better next time. Cool.
Yeah, understand. Know what I did wrong.
Yeah.
Perfect. The first time I met Lizzo, I bombed.
Really?
Oh my God, bro, I bombed.
Were you just like in an off day?
It was just, I think we was trying to do something and it didn't turn out, and I just was like, she's gonna be like, this guy sucks, and I'm never. And I was like, whoa. And she wasn't big when me and Lizzo started. She wasn't Lizzo. She was just the girl that met me and we tried to write a song. And I was like, whoa, I ruined it, man. Yeah. And then the next day she got to LA and she called me. She was like, yo, I'm about to work on my album, man. You should come out and help me. What? So I don't think, I think we're harder on ourselves than others because bombing, yeah.
Right. Bombing is also perspective. You could have bombed that day. To her, it was like, we didn't come up with anything, but like, I loved his energy. I loved his vibe. I loved where it could have gone if the right beat was there or the right vibe came along, And I think even a lot of the times, like whether you're a songwriter, a singer, an artist, or even in the back end on the business side, you can't cancel out someone just off one experience because you have to be able to see the bigger picture.
Exactly. And again, with me, man, I'm just a genuinely positive, happy person. Like, and if you ask all my friends, like my wife always says, like, if my wife is mad, I always ask her, do you want me to fix this problem or do you want to be mad? Because I'll come in and she'll be like, don't you come in here with that kumbaya shit. And I'm like, yo, but you're mad. And I want you to know, right now I want to be angry because I'm more like, yeah, I'm mad, but is that serious? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And I don't take myself too serious. I always say, like, I write songs for a living, bro. I'm not curing cancer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am not like, hey, you know who I am? Who are you? I write songs. Like, like anybody in my business, how serious people take themselves. I'm like, bro, no disrespect, bro. You sing and dance. Yeah. You're not taking half of your millions and building a bunch of schools and you sing and dance. So relax, Yeah.
Okay, so you talked about how you got scared by the IRS, your accounts was freezing. So I would count it as a time where maybe you made a mistake, right? In the financials. So now with your partner being your long-term partner from when you were broke, she had no idea that you had $1 million secretly. So then finally becoming your wife, do you feel that there's a time as an artist or as a songwriter, as a creative, that you were like, fuck, I got to fix something that I'm doing right now because it could fuck up my family and what I have? And how did you go through that? Because I think a lot of the times as a creative, whether you're a songwriter, a producer, an artist, a podcaster, you don't have a 9-to-5. You hone into your career in blood, sweat, and tears. You go into debt because of it. You lose friendships. You lose relationships a lot of the time because of it, but because you have such a strong passion and believe that you can really make shit happen. So when you were there, how did you get out of that?
Man, I just know you eat what you kill. I had good people around me. My brother, who's my partner, my wife, who like, bro, you need to save and you need to do this. And, I'm not the best at it, but I'm a lot better than where I was. And, my manager, who's like a great coach, who's like, yo, we need to do this and we need to do this. And sometimes what you want to do ain't what you're supposed to do, and people don't realize that because I feel like everybody's going around, but I want, it's like a kid with a pony, but I want it. And the kid doesn't know, okay, when you get the pony, you got to feed the pony, you got to bathe the pony, you got to, they don't know all of that comes with it. So, having a good coach as my manager, having a good partner in my wife, having a good business partner in my brother and music partner. You know, all of those things got me to the next step. And it was a song that we wrote called Replay, which we originally wrote for B.O.B., but it didn't fit, you know. And it ended up getting on IS, and that put us back in the black. We were in the red. It put us back in the black. We was up on IRS, and we was back up with money, and you know. And since then, I've always lived like modestly. Like, you know, I be in LA all the time. People are kind of like, you know, I'm in Toyotas, and they're like, "Come on, bro." Like, and I'm like, "Bro, like I don't."
It gets you from point A to point B.
I don't have anything to prove.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my kids have seen places. My kids are seeing places in the world that I never saw as a kid, never could see, never, you know. St. Thomas is 32 square miles with a population of 65,000 people. I used to tell my dad, I'd be like, yo, I know New York exists. I know Africa is there. Do they know I'm here?
Yeah.
And my dad used to be like, what is the fascination with this little boy and other people knowing? I'm like, nah, people need to know that I'm here. And so with me doing that for my kids and being able to be that kind of dad, to me, I'm like, I'm cool with that.
Do you think that mistakes are important? Because now looking at yourself, even with the IRS, even with times where like things could have been shaky in your personal life, you know, your son now stepping into the music industry and following your footsteps. Like, it's so beautiful to see. But also, would you allow him to have the IRS situation happen to him for him to learn?
Never. He's first of all, my son is 12 years old. And, you know, the good part is like, he's not like a kid star. That's why we made it animated, because when I see kid stars and the things that they endured when they get into the business at 12, 13, 14, 15, and then they're kind of like, bro, it kind of ruins them.
Yeah.
Man. It does, you know, and
their innocence is gone.
Their innocence is gone. And you know, and their relationship with human beings is so transactional. That's what they know. And with him, yes, he's an artist, but it's like, literally he comes to the studio, the part that he likes, he sings. He goes, I made him a equal partner with me. So it's not like other people. No, he's my partner. His money goes in a bank account that me and his mom have no access to or cannot touch. He has no access to and cannot touch. And he's doing something that he loves, and he's spending time with his dad. But I don't think he's like I don't consider him like an artist yet. He's interested in music, but he's a kid. He wants to play video games. He wants to hang with his friends, hang with his cousins. But hey, son, you know, we got to go to the studio and record these things. He's like, oh, that's cool. Can my cousins come by? And they sing backgrounds. And he's like, cool. And he spends some hours. I hung with my pop.
Yeah.
And then he goes. And he doesn't have to do anything else. And all the things that he have to do are fun, because when he really wants to do it, you know, like, and I feel like that's a grown-up thing. It's like, bro, you really want to do it? I want him to really want to do it on his own time. Like, hey, Dad, I want to go to the studio and write songs today. Oh, okay. Come. Go crazy, you know? But I don't want to make this like, he has, like, you got to go to...
It's not a job yet. It's just a hobby.
It's not a job yet. Yeah.
It's a hobby that he's exercising. And if it goes somewhere, great. If it doesn't, it was a time that he experienced. It was a time.
And he, you know what? And me being as busy as I am, he got to spend a lot of time with his dad, which, you know, is important for him, but it's like, it's the best thing ever, you know?
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so now, obviously, your son is... basically you're his mentor, and he has like the greatest dad to be able to learn from and enjoy the moment. Did you have a mentor in the industry besides your dad? Because I feel like your dad was a mentor for you.
I want to say I met a lot of people that could have been mentors and have mentored me and helped me. I would say, but it shifted when my manager, bro, he's fire. You know, the way we bounce off of each other and the things that he taught me. Benny, Akon's DJ, one of my best friends, we all came up from St. Thomas, like, we talk like every day on the phone. And then I would say Dr. Luke. Dr. Luke is like, Dr. Luke, when I met him in, I want to say 2012, 2013, he just changed my outlook on music business, not music. You know, he taught me how to be a songwriter, how to be a better songwriter. I felt like, you know, he catapulted me like he taught me and catapulted me into the version of music maker that I am today. Yeah. So yeah, he's the best.
And then what project were you surprised of by the success that ended up happening that you were not expecting? Was it Locked Away, or would you say another one?
No, I mean, we all felt Locked Away. We all knew that was a one. No lie, it's crazy as it kept. About Damn Time by Lizzo surprised me, you know, and 7 by Jungkook. So I know who BTS is. I didn't know the individual members of the group. Full transparency. So my publisher, Katie Welling, who is awesome, she calls and says, "Oh, you know, she's telling me Jungkook is doing a song," and I'm like,
"Who?"
I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And that's another thing about me. I believe that a good song can take an artist anywhere. I don't believe a celebrity has to sing my song for it to be big. So I wasn't like, "Who's Jungkook? He can't have my song." I was like, "Okay, cool. My song is good. This guy Jungkook is gonna sing it." And it dropped and it debuted at #1 on the Billboard chart. And I was like, "Wait a minute, who is Jungkook? Like, what am I missing? Like, what?" And you know, so now, you know, and then I'm researching and the song does extremely well. So I would say 7 and About Damn Time. Those two songs, honestly, which changed my life again. I was like, whoa.
Who's like an artist that you haven't worked with that you're like, if I could just get
Jay-Z. Oh. Jay-Z. Listen.
You got to speak into existence.
I'm speaking. Listen, I'm telling you, listen, Sean Carter, if you're working on another album, I just want.
Not even another album. Just work on a single, and it happens to be the one you write.
Listen, all Jay-Z has to do is have a song with my name in the credits with his name, and that's it. That's like the pinnacle for me. That's like, you can't say nothing to me. That's not even a cash grab. I don't even need a hit with Jay-Z. I can have track 17.
Okay.
I don't. It could be the outro,
the interlude.
Yeah, I could get an interlude with Jay-Z. I'm gonna be like, "Yo, bro." You know, again, coming from St. Thomas, we never had anybody, and Jay-Z is not only my favorite rapper and favorite artist. What people got to realize is, he used to go to St. Thomas and he used to be there, and I met him in St. Thomas as a kid. He doesn't remember meeting me at all, but I was like in the 6th grade or the 7th grade, just like, "Yo, Jay-Z, like, yo, I'm a rapper and you need to feature me." We was annoying. We were like hood kids that walked up in during Carnival, and he raps about St. Thomas. Like he said, you know, "What up to my Miami and St. Thomas connect?" You know what I'm saying? "In my lifetime, nigga, go do your research. St. Thomas, my nigga, that was me." So he said St. Thomas, and if you're, you know, 32 square miles, 65,000 people, you're like, what? He's the great. You know, as a kid, you're like, he's the greatest. So, you know, he's like a hero of mine musically, and I would love to work with him.
Amazing. Well, we're putting that into existence.
Yeah. Listen, anybody, you know.
Okay, so I have a little game for you.
Let's do it.
I know that you're not supposed to pick a favorite child. But we're going to see if you can pick your favorite hit.
Oh, yes.
So between About Damn Time or We Can't Stop.
We Can't Stop. Man, that's a tough, man. Yeah, it got to be We Can't Stop, because I loved and believed in that song, and a lot of people told me that song was bad. Like, they was like, nah. I heard so many no's, and I was like, am I crazy? I think it's the best song ever. And then Miley loved it, and I was like, I know it. So yeah, We Can't Stop.
Okay, Locked Away or APT?
It gotta be Locked Away. You put me in a bad place, because APT is huge, and I love what it's doing for like kids.
Yeah.
Like, yo, my daughter she'll be 2 on May 19th, and bruh, like, I just love but again, my dad is like the greatest man that ever lived. That song is literally about my dad. He went to prison for 5 years. My mom stayed with him. My parents were married, and my parents were together for 43 years until my dad passed 3 years ago. So for me, it hits home. Locked Away is the #1 song over every song.
Yeah. Now, When I Grow Up by the Pussycat Dolls.
Okay.
Or Selfish by Justin Timberlake. And that's the one we're finishing with, so you gotta be serious with that one.
I gotta go with When I Grow Up, because it's my first hit. It's the first thing that told me and my brother and my manager, like, hey guys, I think we can be bigger. You know, like, because we was making like R&B songs and other songs, and we didn't have like a really big one.
Yeah.
And then that happened, and we were like, oh, I think we could do this, bro. So yeah. But shout out to Justin Timberlake. You know, we worked on that album for like, I want to say like 2 years. It was a pleasure working with him. He's always been like an artist that I loved growing up, and to be around him and see his process and how he worked. He's a true talented, gifted human being. And Selfish was fire. And Selfish was fire because he went to do something and he was gone for like 3 hours, and we were like, should we leave? Is he gonna come back? And he came back with so much energy and so inspired. The whole concept, yeah. And it was like, yo, listen. And we was like, whoa, and we made that song. So
that's beautiful. I think that's how he works, actually, because I saw an interview that Rob Knox talked about I'm blanking on the name, but the one that he did with T.I.
Okay.
And that the same thing, that he was like, I already did a song with T.I. in the past, and I don't want it to have synths. So he was like, okay. And then he just like walked away out of the room, and he was like, so does he not want to work on the song? And he actually went and did everything on the piano and came back, and he was like, I got it. This is what it is.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good.
Amazing. Now, what percentage of song is true artistry to you versus let's just like wake up and write a banger today? Like, well, how much is strategy and how much is just a vibe? I
think if you want to last for a long time and be successful for a long time, I think it should be 90% strategy and 10% vibe. If songwriting is your job.
Yeah.
It's different when you're an artist. Artists have the luxury in going out and performing these songs for fans, and they're going to make money in other ways. But as a songwriter, if you're a songwriter, as your business, like I always tell people, outside of Jay-Z, I'm not showing up to the studio to make your art with you. Mm-hmm. I don't make any money with your art. I gotta make a hit song, a big song. And so no lie, I'm not here to vibe with you. It's weird with me because I purposely try to do the dumbest thing, because people listen to music on a third grade level. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, it's like APT. Let's think of APT, right? So APT is apartment in Korean. Mm-hmm. That's all she's saying. She's literally saying apartment over and over. Well, it's a Korean drinking game. So when I was in the studio, they were playing the drinking game.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, when did you guys make that song? It's not a song. It's so everybody in Korea knows that.
Right.
Every person. Yeah, yeah, that's the song that we got to do. We got to make that song. I'm like, what? No. That is the Macarena, my girl. It comes with a dance.
Right.
They don't know this is a game. Kids, they don't realize that it's a part of a game. And nobody realized, a lot of people didn't even realize it was a game for drinking.
Right.
So I just was like, I heard it and I saw it, and I try to say the silly things. I try to say, got a light-skinned friend look like Michael Jackson, got a dark-skinned friend look like, because I always think, like, if you're in a party, when the DJ does this, what is everybody screaming? Mm-hmm. And I'm always trying, musically on purpose, when I'm making music, I'm always trying to find those moments. So I'm, no lie, I mean, me and my brother are working on a new album for the first time together in 10 years. And we're going to Hawaii tomorrow to work on it. And literally, I drive my brother crazy because I was like, you know what we need? We need to make a song as big as like, Who Let the Dogs Out? He was like, my brother's like, what? I'm like, yeah. I don't, obviously our own thing, but something like APT, Macarena, something that,
that's
don't
international,
believe me,
yeah.
just something that the world, Despacito, something that the world wants to be a part of. He was like, let's just
get to Hawaii.
Let's get to Hawaii and start our first song first. And so that's just the way that I think, I mean, if we're not gonna be big, I feel like, if my goal isn't to be the biggest ever, then if I can't be the best, I don't want to do it.
Do you feel like AI though? Because if I open ChatGPT right now and I said, hey, ChatGPT, make me a song with a hook that starts with the vibe or the, feeling of APT and Who Let the Dogs Out. And it might give me 15, 20, 30, however many times I try to keep recreating it. Does that ever scare you as a songwriter?
No. Technology is going to come whether or not we want it to. And my thing is, this is the thing. Yes, AI is going to get better. AI is going to write good songs, better songs. But I feel like as long as you're writing good songs, you're going to sell songs, you know? Now, artists who is like, I'm going to go to AI and I'm going to have AI write all my songs. Well, until AI starts to write all your songs and give you a melody, you might need somebody to help you with the melody. And then, okay, when AI does the melody and the thing, you might need a beat. And after you get, okay, AI does, somebody's going to have to produce you.
Right.
You know, somebody's going to, so again.
It might give you an idea, but it's not going to give you the full song.
It's not going to give you the full thing because you can ruin a song.
Right.
Like, I can write a song and you can make a beat and the beat's bad and it ruined it, you know, or the artist sung it and they ruined it.
Right.
Or
the marketing sucked.
So
the visuals, yeah.
It could be, you know what I mean? So it's like AI is gonna, and if you're smart, you're going to use it to your advantage.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because I remember when I was in the music industry, the amount of people that would use like certain websites for like words.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, it's already, people have used things to help their craft better, but it's just about, at the end of the day, how you piece it all together.
Yeah, you know, it's how you piece it together, what you do with it, because I mean, you could give someone the same exact outfit you have and they're not gonna wear it, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not afraid of the future, and I'm not afraid of nothing that isn't in my control.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, when people are like, AI is coming, I'm like, okay. And let's say it's gonna come, I'm like, I feel like I'm capable and smart to pivot. Yo, bro, there's no money in music anymore, bro. AI, they got us. Okay, bro, you know what? I believe that I'm a smart, capable man, and I have a family that I love, and I care about them enough to do whatever it takes to take care of them.
I have one final question for you.
Let's go.
And it's, what are 3 things you would tell your son right now if he was to ask you, Dad, I really want to make it in the songwriting business. I really want to be an artist, but I don't want to make the same mistakes as you. What are 3 things that I need to get better at to make sure I don't make the mistakes?
Number 1, don't worry about the mistakes. Embrace them all. You're not going to make the same mistakes as me, because you're in a different you're in a different field. You know, I was a poor kid who was sleeping on floors, and you're a songwriter. You're a nepo baby. So don't worry too much about the mistakes. You have a soft pillow to land on. I already landed on the concrete. Got to be ready to work hard, and I mean, you got to be ready to work hard. You need to be in that studio every day. I want to hear a song from you every day. Oh, let me hear the song that you wrote today. Oh, how does it go? What's the melody? Da 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 da. So work hard. I would probably give him tasks to be like, you know, don't worry about mistakes. Make as many as you can and make them fast. Number 3, enjoy every minute of it, because the true fun is in the journey. You know, because I always tell people, when you get there, it's over. You know, so I'm like, learning, if you can enjoy getting whatever your goal is, oh man, you know, like, I wanna be the biggest songwriter in the world. And in 2024, I won Songwriter of the Year, and I was like, okay, you did it. Thank God I enjoyed. Like, thank God I'm like, whoa, the journey was fire. Yeah. You know, yeah, that's what I would say. Thank you.
Well, I hope that all the people that listened and watched were able to get so many gems from this, because I know I for sure did, and so did the rest of the team. We got to laugh, we got to learn. So if you guys don't already, make sure to follow, and all his links will be in the description below. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time.